What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back to talk about one of our favorite housewives, honey. Okay, I'm being sarcastic. She ain't my favorite housewife, but I do love talking about her. Miss Monique Samuels, who is a former housewife of Real Housewives of Potomac. She recently did an interview, and I wanted to comment on it. So I will let it play, you guys, and I will be in and out with my commentary.
As the title, yes, no filter with her. So I would probably be Chloe.
I love it. Okay, so we know you're not coming back to Real Housewives of Potomac, which we're all so heartbroken over.
Not all of us.
But what, can you give us a little update on what life has been like these past couple of months since you taped the reunion?
Oh, man. Well, one thing about me, even before the show, I'm always nonstop. We always have something going on in the Samuels house. So I have projects for days. Now I feel like I'm more busy now than when I was a part of the show. And it's funny, Karen Huger actually reached out to me the other day, and she's like, excuse me, I've been texting you and I have not heard from you. She said, I feel like I can't get a hold of you now. You're more busy now. And I said, you know what? I am. Because now I'm really hands-on and deep into my Not for Lazy Moms website. So I'm back to writing articles. I'm back to doing all of the things that I love to do that I didn't have time for because of filming and being a part of the whole Bravo franchise. They keep you really busy. So I'm enjoying doing that, being a mom, being a wife. I have T'Challa. So we're nonstop. And then Mila Eve Essentials, my YouTube channel. We are not slowing down over here.
How is T'Challa? Everybody loved him on the show.
Yes, T'Challa's amazing. He's doing so well. He cracks me up. He's still saying his name. It's like he won't say anybody else's name. Fresh air.
How did you feel when the other women questioned whether or not he actually ran away or that was you just trying to gain sympathy on Instagram?
She was trying to get sympathy after she had dragged Candiace, honey. Okay? I'm just saying, that's what I believe.
I wasn't surprised just because that's what they would do. So they think everything is just like about the show. And for me, I actually have a life. I'm an actual Potomac housewife. So I don't have to do that much to have storyline, but they do. So for them, they are always trying to come up with some conniving way to be relevant. And unfortunately for me, I don't have to do that. I just live my life. Things happen. I share them as I always do on social media. And that was one of the things that it was really a cry for help. I really did not know what to do. I'm like, what do you do when your bird flies away? And thanks to that video and me going live that day, so many people gave me advice and different tips. They told me who to call. They told me to turn the music on that we normally listen to in the house on the outside speakers.
Girl, stop playing with us, okay? You know damn well, You know that bird was always in the house with y'all. I do not believe he fled away and then just suddenly out the blue came back. I don't believe it.
Love, and I really appreciate it. And I had my cell phone number on flyers. Like, I actually printed up a flyer with my cell phone number, posted them around the neighborhood, and handed them out to every person I saw walking past. My husband was at Potomac Village Shopping Center handing out flyers with my personal cell phone number. I don't think anybody would do that for some fluke. Come on. So that was very insensitive, and it just shows the real hate that the women have for me, and that just goes to show why I'm no longer there.
You are not there anymore because Andy Cohen didn't see things your way. He really tried to make her, accountable and responsible for her actions towards Candiace. And she didn't like that. Most narcissists, they don't like to be called out, on their shit. Okay, they get real upset. Okay.
So talk me through that decision. Because, every time a housewife leaves, there's always was she fired? Did she really quit? And you said you got your contract and then you just ultimately decided not to come back. Was it because your relationships with women were so fractured, or you were not happy with Bravo's edit of you this season? What was that decision for you?
So I was actually happy to come back for another season. When they gave me the phone call, they follow up with an email, as they always do, solidifying and sending you your offer letter for the next season. So I received all of that, talked to them, was excited. When I got to watch the third part of the reunion, that's when it hit me. I'm not just fighting these women. I'm also fighting production and the network. When you get to that point where there's no respect from anybody and you feel like you're literally fighting everybody, the women, I can fight them all day long. But when
obviously you can't, because, you know, after that last part of the reunion, part 3, you wanted to quit. Why you didn't want to quit on part 1? Because, you know, everything was in your favor and we were all laughing at the fact that you dragged Giselle's ass. Rightfully so. We all been waiting for Giselle to get dragged at a reunion. But, you know, everything was going your way. You know, everybody talked about, you know, you putting Jamal Bryant on blast and on Front Street, and, you know, you really called him out for allegedly, cheating on Giselle with this other woman that he been messing with for years. You know, you liked all of that. You know, you liked when you were able to do disrespectful things. And then when you are held to task, you got a problem. People calling your husband out, you know, saying that, you know, he acted very unprofessional and uncouth at that reunion, getting up out of his seat and being all loud and threatening the women, and, you know, girl, bye.
When you're fighting the people who are controlling the narrative and the network that is producing and showing the show, that is when I knew, I was like, my time is up here. I'm done. Why would I go back to that?
Yeah.
So I quickly said I was very unhappy with how they tried to spin the third part. There was so much that they left out. I mean, I answered for so much for a good 7 hours out of the 11 hours of filming. And they barely showed any of those responses. And then you get to the end and totally manipulate the whole story. You don't show Candiace's live video where she actually admitted this whole plot.
I saw that.
I mean, it was so much. And I said, you know what? I'm done fighting. I'm done. Why would I go back?
You're done fighting? Is that physically, or you shouldn't have been fighting in the first place? Okay, keep your hands to yourself, ma'am.
To this is just, it's mentally, it's just not good when you have a whole network, production, and women gaslighting you.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching that third part of the reunion, and I was kind of like, what am I watching? Well, especially, okay, so here's something that Chelsea Stark-Jones wrote in for you. She said the producers gave you a really bad edit during the reunion. Did Candiace ever own up to her part in the fight? It felt like Andy really let her off the hook, and it was also super frustrating at the reunion when everyone was saying that you were lying about what happened, and then we get to the cut of the footage that proved that you were actually right.
Exactly. And imagine this, for over a year, saying that same story, telling the same thing over a year, and everyone from top.
You did not tell the same story for over a year. I got some other videos, you guys, coming up, and I'm really lay into her ass, because, honey, I ain't forgot, honey, okay? And I felt like Andy did hold Candiace responsible at that reunion, but see, Monique, what you are failing to understand is when you put your hands on somebody and then after you attacked her, you went to try to attack her again. See, you're leaving that part out. Okay? You were way more wrong than Candiace. Period. You admitted that. Now it seemed like she kind of was like admitting that on the reunion, that she was way more wrong than Candiace, and ain't no excuse for her poor, decision making during that fight. You admit that, and then all of a sudden, all these different interviews you doing, you backpedal, you backtrack off of that and say, oh, they were all coming for me at the reunion, and stop playing victim, narcissist. Okay? That girl was hurt. Candiace got physically hurt and she was emotionally hurt because she trusted you as a friend. She thought y'all was like cool. She thought that y'all was going to be able to rectify y'all, situation that y'all had between y'all, with you being upset that she invited Sharice to her little wedding party that she had. So, like I told y'all before, Monique, she didn't see Candiace like a real friend. She really didn't.
All all the way down the bottom telling you, no, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. And then they finally show it. What the heck type of mental effery is this? But yeah, Candiace never owned her part. She never apologized for her part. There was no accountability on her side.
Y'all hear this shit? You were the one that was mainly wrong. Child, it's just sad at this point. And all these people that follow her, they just gas her up even more, make her believe her own hype.
At all. And no one tried to even push the accountability to happen. I mean, it was very one-sided.
Candiace did take responsibility because didn't she say, sometimes, my mouth may get me in trouble. And, so that was her, taking some accountability, for her mouth. But at the end of the day, anybody could say anything to you. You go, somebody tell you to jump off a bridge, you go do that too. You are responsible and accountable for your actions, for not putting your hands on other people. And, you couldn't control yourself. You look like a mad woman. Okay. And we all supposed to forget that. Okay. And then you keep changing your damn story every interview you do. I can't with the lies.
There was times when Andy asked certain questions of her, but he did it in such a gentle way that...
Look at that. He babied her and, he was really mean to me. This is not a grown woman that I'm looking at. Because if you knew that you are the one that really made that fight go to 100, right? If you're really responsible and accountable for those actions, it wouldn't have bothered you that, Andy stayed on your ass, because you would have been like, you know what? I'm grown. I made a mistake. And he was just simply trying to hold me accountable. You don't want to be held accountable because, like I told you, she has she has a narcissistic personality. So their mind state is, whoa, I can't be to blame. She must be to blame. You could tell with the language that she uses. What does she say? I'm trying to figure out why I would even react like that. And what's funny? My child's father has said the same thing to me one time. I am not lying. I bullshit you not. He said that. I'm trying to understand why I would even react to you like that because I'm not like that. Because you can't control yourself, crazy ass. Child, got Miss Robinson going back down memory lane. Okay.
It was just like massaging you and just kind of coddling you to try to see if you'll own up. And then when you don't, then it's just like, oh, okay, let's move on to the next thing,
But ain't that the same thing that happened when Karen had that meeting? Okay, and she was massaging you and coddling you, and Robin and the other girls was like, this bitch needs to be held accountable for her actions against Candiace, So, girl, I'm so sick of you, Monique.
So, but with me, I was hammered the entire time to the point where when I did not show the emotion that they wanted to see, it was like, well, you're not emotional. Excuse me? This has been over a year.
You didn't care. And don't bring up it was over a year, because I remember a few days after the fight, you still didn't have no remorse. You just felt embarrassed, that that you got caught, dragging that girl, and, now ain't nobody fooling with you, and there's consequences and repercussions for your actions. Child.
I've actually went through the process. I've been in therapy and everything else to deal with this, and I put it behind me.
I don't know what triggered. I don't have any reason. I don't have any justification. So I'm going to talk to my pastor, see what I can figure out. Because knowing me, I'm like, okay, I'm not a person that would just go attack somebody.
But you did.
I'm trying. Okay,
this is what I needed to hear, and I'm proud of you for this.
Are you
saying that you are going to get some help about this?
I literally have nothing to say.
There's no humility.
That's a good place to start.
Regret. There's no, oh my God, I'm sorry. There's none of that here.
You said that you blacked out.
And you said you came to.
Oh no, at the very end when I had
exactly. Right.
So that means everything that happened after that, you were aware.
Oh, I was aware.
So that means you running around the barn saying,
aware.
I'm going to kill that bitch. You were aware.
I was very aware.
Oh, that's a problem. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Because adrenaline is still pumping. Has anybody ever been in a fight? When you've been in a fight physically, your body is going to stay on 100.
And the bullshit, like me and you, like looking at you in the face, Monique, you're not remorseful.
Not right now.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I rest my case. Miss Robinson, no, honey, she could play an old flashback. I'm just saying, I know some of y'all rolling your eyes, sucking your damn teeth, but I gotta, present my case. Exhibit A, honey, okay?
Deal with this, and I put it behind me, and I moved on. So it was a mess.
Do you think that there's ever any mending for you and Candiace, or you think at this point, like...
Oh, hell no, ain't no damn mending. Because if she's a narcissist the way that I think she is, Candiace has embarrassed her, and, narcissists, you guys, they don't like to be embarrassed. They don't like to be put out on Front Street. They don't like to take responsibility and accountability for their actions. They just like, she says she don't feel no remorse. It's just another day for her. So another day, another dollar, and another lie, honey, okay?
Like, it's just nothing you're interested in.
Oh, I'm not interested at all. Not at all.
Not if Candiace is gonna make me look like this, and Now, if everybody would have had Monique's back, and if they would have dragged Candiace and really, came down hard on her at the reunion, if everything was reversed, Monique would have stayed on the show. Okay? I watched her on Real Housewives of Potomac ever since she came on. When they are all kind of on her side against Candiace, she feels all good with the group, and she's so happy-go-lucky. Just look at the beginning of season 5. She thought she was all good with the popular girls, and then as soon as this situation with Candiace happened, they flipped on her ass and had Candiace's back. She ain't looked at them the same ever since, honey, okay?
Once you find out a person is a snake, you just let them be a snake and watch them slither and leave it alone.
I feel like she played up the victim a lot more, which then made it easier for people.
Oh, shut your punk ass up. Who asked you? Shit, tell me she played the victim. How would you like if somebody come yanking your ass, out your kitchen? How would you feel? Come dragging your ass. You wouldn't like that, sir, would you?
To paint you as this cold, emotionless, non-remorseful person.
She is that, okay?
Which, but it's so true, because it's like you did process this didn't happen a couple of weeks ago. Like, you had to go through that process of making sense of what actually happened, and we did hear you actually apologize and own your part in it, and
a whole year and some change later, and then she wasn't really sorry, because after the fight she put ask and you shall receive. That's not somebody that's remorseful. You wasn't remorseful when you sat down and talked with them women. You wasn't remorseful at that reunion, okay? Girl, bye.
I don't feel like there was any accountability on the other side.
Right, and the funny thing is, I've owned my part from the very beginning.
I can't make these things up, baby. Okay, I just played the clips. Okay. Woo! A lie don't care who tell it. Cha.
I mean, even at that conversation at Karen's house, which I requested all the ladies to be there outside of Candiace, even in that conversation, I owned my part. I just didn't feel any remorse at that moment. I didn't have time to process it. So, and they weren't being understanding of that. And then when I finally did feel the point of being remorseful, then it's like, now she's trying to sue me and take my money. And literally since...
Well, shit, you giving out ass whoopings, honey. I'm coming to get them coins, honey, okay? I'm going to tie you up in the court system, honey, okay? That's what we do, okay? There is consequences for your actions. You shouldn't have been mad at her because she went legal on your ass. See, you don't want any you don't want to take any responsibility or accountability for your actions. You just expect to drag people. Oh, she, had her mouth going and I got the right to put my hands on her. This is how a lot of male abusers think, you guys. You said this and I got the right to just slap the shit out of you because after all, you got this big ass mouth. You always saying something you don't need to say. You don't want to hear a difference of opinion. So that gives you the right to abuse another person. I get the logic. I get it. I see it.
It's an email from her attorney saying that they will pursue civil action if I don't respond to them. And then if I don't give them any money, then they're going to file a complaint. And that's exactly what they did. They weren't getting any money out of me. So they were like, okay, well, then we're going to take this to court for real. So it was just a whole nightmare. It was a lot. And if the cameras actually showed my process of dealing with all of that. See, every time I filmed, I mentioned the fact that she wanted money. I guess they didn't want that on the show. So there was a lot that was...
Ain't nothing wrong with her wanting money, okay? You put that girl through a lot. It was a traumatic event. She was a friend of yours or, y'all had a relationship for a couple of years and hell, pay up, shit. This isn't just about Candiace. I think your average person would have went legal on your ass and probably really would have stuck it to you, So, girl, goodbye.
Left out as far as what...
Put some of them damn oils on and, honey, call it a night, okay?
I contributed to the season after the fight happened. So I could see why people had so many questions and they were just left puzzled. Like, wait, what's going on? Why is Monique not feeling remorseful? No, if y'all could have had cameras and the cameras actually showed everything that I went through, there would be a whole different story told, for sure.
How did you feel when Giselle showed up with her security guard?
It was hilarious to me because I'm like, first of all, my husband's bigger than this dude. Do you really think he intimidates me? What he gonna do to me? Like, come on. And it wasn't like I came in there ready to fight round 2 with the other ladies. Like, that wasn't the point of me asking them to come there. So I just felt like she was once again doing what she always does, which is making everything about herself. She has nothing else to talk about. All she does is bring a new man every season. We've seen it since season 1. And
you done scared quite a few of them away, honey, okay? So I'm just saying she got involved with the Sherman situation. She shouldn't have did that. I'm talking about Monique. We saw the Jamal situation. To me, she was just, thank God you're quitting the show because Giselle was getting ready to come for your ass, Monique. I told y'all that was cute. It was funny. Don't get Miss Robinson wrong, honey. I got my life off of, Monique dragging Giselle and Jamal, but it didn't look good for her coming into the next season because they was gonna get her. They was gonna get her. It was gonna be a done deal for her.
She had nothing else to do or talk about, and she just had to do something to make it about her. And I guess she thought bringing a security guard would work.
Well, CP wants to know, what are your thoughts on Jamal and Giselle now? Are they still together, and was it really all just for the show?
It was definitely for the show. I have no idea what they're doing right now. I'm pretty sure he's still down there being Pastor Holy Whore, laying a pipe for all the ladies in the congregation down there still.
Ooh, y'all hear that? Still talking all this shit. Now, Monique, what you could have did, because you've already dragged Jamal enough, you could have been like, child, I don't know what they doing. I don't even care, honey. I got, the next chapter of my life happening. That's all I care about.
I'm sure he's still up to no good, doing what he always does. He's a horrible pastor, and the people who follow him, they might want to just, like go to God themselves.
He did it. He tried to come for you too. What was it, like on Instagram Live? He was like calling you out because he didn't like that you exposed his other relationships with other women.
He basically confirmed everything that I said at the reunion, so that was nice.
That was nice.
He put out that the binder never lies. Speaking of which, Binder Time Stories is coming soon. It's going to be epic.
Okay, so talk to me about the binder. What didn't we get to see? Because you said that you had a tab for everybody in it. So what other teasers from the binder can you spill?
I will say this. I had a tab for myself. And a lot of what the ladies were trying to accuse me of, I had receipts, real actual receipts to show and prove what was going on in my life at different time periods. And it's just so funny to me because there was an ex-friend who comes along and starts these vicious rumors, who has since retracted everything that she said. But of course, that doesn't make it to air. You know, they never want to show when the real truth comes out. They only want to show the nastiness of the lies. But I was really dealing with some tough times early on in my pregnancy. I almost lost my child. So Chase, at 8 weeks, I almost lost him. I was on bed rest for 6 to 8 weeks. I had to go get an ultrasound every 2 weeks for, 2 months? Because I almost lost my baby. So
now, really quickly, guys, did Gigi retract her story? I don't remember hearing about that. Or, Gigi said, she spoke out and she spoke on truth. She really did feel like Monique was getting ready to cheat on Big Boy Honey with the trainer and was all inappropriate with him. So I still believe, what Gigi said, because something with their marriage is a bit off. Very much so to me.
So while they're steady making up lies and rumors, I'm actually at home with my family struggling, really dealing with am I going to miscarry again? So it was just a lot of just everything that I needed to back up with everything that I was saying. Because one thing about those ladies, they will spill a bunch of stuff, but they can never back it up. Just ask yourself. We watched 3 parts of the reunion. Why wasn't the trainer brought up?
Yeah.
Because they had nothing. They had nothing and nowhere to go with it. When Andy asked me, what did I think when Giselle brought up this whole trainer lie, I said I was relieved. I was relieved because the main concern for me was don't mention my child. Keep my child's name out of your mouth. But they didn't even show that part on the reunion because it was too good. It was too much truth. It wasn't enough nastiness, so they don't even show it. So
girl, bye, because when the show started, you could have got ahead of the trainer rumors and the situation with your baby. You chose not to do that. You wanted to run away from it. So much so that when Charisse would arrive in certain scenes, you would run away from her. So you were running for a reason, okay?
You go the whole season talking about this whole trainer rumor, and then you don't even address it at the reunion because they had nothing to back it up. There was no proof there.
It was just rumors and speculation.
Ain't no damn rumors and speculation. Gigi said that she saw you and you was all up on the trainer and y'all was at a club. You should never be hanging out as a married woman. Married people kill me. Y'all put yourselves in such stupid situations, if you're married, act like you're married. Don't be at the bar or the club with somebody other than your wife or your husband. So Monique, you are one of them married people that's like that. You be trying to hang out with the help, honey. You can't do that. Where they do that at?
And gossip.
It was actually a story that was planted by an ex-friend of mine, specifically to the cast of the show and the producers. She literally reached out to every person on the show.
Oh, the same way that person reached out to you about the rumors about Jamal? So this is my issue with this woman. This woman is always accusing other people of doing her wrong, but what about the wrong that you do? It's okay to talk about Sherman like a dog and, drudge up his past and, kind of ruin his relationship with Giselle. That's okay. Just simply off the strength of you don't like Giselle. Do you see what I'm saying? All of that is okay. All of that, it's cool to get on the reunion and drag Jamal and, call him a womanizer because, you hate Giselle. Do you see what I'm saying? Well, she was talking about my baby. They didn't even really, they didn't show any footage of those women really dragging your son or any of that. They didn't. I saw, I believe, one clip where Giselle mentions to Robin that Chris and Monique, remember we saw that clip before they went to Monique's house. Y'all remember that house she had them go to in season 5. But it was Monique's husband that asked Giselle, who does the baby look like? Y'all brought it up. okay, and tried to make it a story. They actually edited that out. We didn't see that until the reunion. So, girl, bye.
And production, so that she could bring this story to TV. It was literally for the show. It wasn't a rumor going around in Potomac. And even if it was, nobody would know on that show. None of them live here.
Yeah. So I do want to ask you, because this was brought up a few times throughout the season, mostly by, I want to say Giselle, who was saying that she didn't want to, that there's a, or I guess, and Candiace, that there's this, reputation of black women that they are very aggressive, and that you fed into that stereotype, and they didn't like how, you know, you by fighting with Candiace, you know, in their heads kind of made them all look bad. What is your response to that?
They should look at their actions. I mean, some of these women are mothers, and they're making themselves look bad and showing bad examples for their children. So if we want to talk about bad examples, we need to talk about all of them. The difference between me and them is that I can actually take accountability.
Can you now? Oh, really? Really? Is your motherfucking twin gonna arrive and take some accountability for you? Because I have yet to see you do it, ma'am. This girl is crazy, okay? I know when I'm looking at a certified nut job, and she believes her lies, her and her hearty ass, aggressive ass laugh. Child, I wish y'all could see my face.
I can actually own up to being human.
Oh.
And making mistakes and having moments where...
It wasn't no mistake, bitch. It wasn't no mistake, because you had, like Giselle said, you threatened to drag Candiace season 4, and season 5 you did. And I believe that is every bit of who and what you are and what you represent. Girl, bye.
There's a lapse of judgment, and I wish I could have went back and used better judgment, just like most people in the world. So I am more relatable to... No, you ain't relatable to me. I don't like that. Somebody will have to put their hands on me first. I ain't about to be out here fighting no bitch. Okay? Miss Robinson don't look good in cuffs. I really don't. Now, unless we doing something, you know, freaky deaky, that may be... Okay, too much information, honey. Okay? But I'm just saying, I don't do well with cuffs. I'm claustrophobic, honey. Monique would have been arrested, okay, playing with Miss Robinson, honey. The real struggles of human beings while they're trying to make themselves look perfect, which...
And this is coming from Perfect Patty, honey. Not Perfect Patty is talking like this. Not like this. Girl, the jokes write themselves at this point.
Isn't true. They should look more about being good role models for their own kids versus worrying about what stereotypes people are playing into. Because I would hate for my children to watch me keep going back to a horrible man who treats me with disrespect, all for a show. And then you involve your children in that. That's why I left. Because at the end of the day, once you start trying to involve my children... That ain't why you left. You just told us why you left, because Andy was on your ass at that reunion, and you don't like how it made you look. Don't try to blame this on Giselle. And if she goes back to Jamal, and, that's her child's father, whether he cheated or not. The facts are the facts. So that has nothing to do with you, okay? So, girl. My family into a reality TV show that they never signed up for, that's where I draw the line. My family is way more important than any show, any check that anybody can offer me.
And I think that really speaks to your character, because so many people stay because the paycheck is good or the publicity is good and they have, national exposure. But when you choose to walk away the way you did and you're like, I'm good. I don't need this paycheck. I don't need to put myself through this sort of drama and toxicity for the sake of what, fame or money? You seem to be doing fine without the show right now.
I'm doing better. I mean, the stress of it all. And you really don't even realize exactly how much weight and stress it is until you've removed yourself. Because you really don't get a break. You go from filming for 4 months. As soon as you wrap filming, now you're preparing to promote the next season. Now you're reliving it for, 19, 20 weeks or more, watching it on TV, getting questioned about it, doing interviews. And then as soon as it wraps, you're back to filming again. It's never ending. So until you remove yourself, you sit back and you're like, whoa, I didn't even realize how much of a cloud was hanging over my head. So I feel absolutely amazing. I'm doing everything that I enjoy doing. I'm enjoying my family. They love that I'm not on the show anymore. My kids love that I don't have to run out the house saying I'm filming, So as they got older, they cared less and less about the cameras being there. So they didn't even really want to film. I've been busy, so I haven't even had time to watch TV really. My favorite housewife is definitely Portia. Love Portia. That's my girl. So yeah, other than that,
How do you feel about Portia being in the hot seat right now with the rumors that she had a threesome with a stripper on the show?
Well, with one thing about Portia, she's a grown behind woman. She was single at the time. If she had done it, she would admit it. There would be no reason for her to lie. She has nothing to prove to anybody. And another thing I know about Portia is that she can handle the heat. So
I don't think she knows Portia like that. And y'all know I like Portia, but for some reason, I don't think she really, because I remember season 10, Portia was breaking down, a lot of them wasn't dealing with her. I don't think that Portia likes all of this stuff with Bolo. I don't blame her though. I really don't. I would feel away too, but I don't feel like Portia knows how to really maneuver through all of this. That's not what I'm seeing,
People can say whatever they want. She knows her truth. And, that's my girl. I will always 100% have her back. I'm here for her. If she wanted to do whatever she wanted to do, look, she's grown. She can do it. If she says she didn't do it, she didn't do it.
All right, you guys, gonna go ahead and end that right there. Y'all get down in the comments and let Miss Robinson know how you feel about this interview that Miss Monique Samuels has did with this man, honey, okay? Don't forget, you guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.